Hey, hello. Today I'm going to talk about what I've been working on recently. It's time for a progress update from the studio. I do that about once a month. Sometimes I reveal new work, sometimes it's just a progress update. Today's a little bit of both. So in the last month, I took a small break from creating my Feelings Out of Fiber to try my hand at a few different artworks. And so if you want to know what it is and you want to see what I'm going to show you today, keep watching, all right? Hang out with me. The first thing I made is called Fishtails. And this past month I did something I didn't ordinarily do. I worked on two different projects at the same time. And this turned out to be really good for my production rate, partly because they were smaller pieces, but also because I was doing more than one thing at a time. But it made my mild OCD a little bit twitchy. And so that's something I kind of need to watch for. I almost always work on one project at a time, and it's usually the next in my feeling series. I don't often deviate because, again, I've got a little bit of mild OCD. And I'm sort of very focused on creating this portfolio and whatnot. And so I don't often allow myself to kind of step off that path and make something new. But that's what I did in this last month. So in mid-July, I accepted a challenge to make a wearable art face mask, for use during these COVID times. And I ended up creating 10. There's the queen of the collection, and then there's the 9 ladies of the court. And you can read you can read about the Jewels of the Pandemic series by visiting my website and searching for that article, or you can go back about 3 weeks into my video archives and look for the video that's titled Jewels of the Pandemic. And you'll see you'll see me talking about those masks as well as getting pictures of them. One of those is already sold, and then the others are totally available on my Etsy shop, which is Hilary Clark Studios. So in keeping my focus on smaller work, that the masks, like I said, had a lot of design detail in a very small space. I also created a 12 by 12 artwork that I named Fishtails. And this piece was created as a submission, showing it here, for the Studio Art Quilt Associates Florida Fresh Fish exhibit. There's a tongue twister, isn't it? And that exhibit's going to be on display at the Studio Art Quilt Associates, or SAQA, Global Conference in April of 2021. The conference is going to be held virtually because no one really knows where the world's going to stand in terms of COVID come April. So for now, it's just all going to happen virtually, so everybody will get to see things. I don't know how they're going to do it, but I'm looking forward to it. And as we get closer to that global conference, I'll share information with you here in this space about how you could view that particular fresh fish exhibition. Oh my gosh, I can't say that. So anyway, I'm really pleased with this little guy. My drawing skills remain about a second grade level when it comes to drawing anything that ought to look like something that's like real. And there's a reason I create abstract art, because my drawing skills are kind of cartoonish and childlike. It's just a skill I've never cultivated. And so when my fish outline came out looking like an actual fish, I was pretty fucking happy, and I still am. I'm almost ridiculously pleased with myself how well with how well this came out looking like a fish. This little guy is super colorful and was created using my fused raw edge applique and machine stitching method, incorporating the dense textured stitch lines that I prefer. Which I'll pull this up close. It's hard to see. There you go. Kind of a little bit. You can see it sort of in the sparkly thread on this colored piece right here. You can kind of see how dense the stitching is. And that's the same across the entire fish. And it's the same on all of my work. I stitch that closely together. Which is why my work takes a little bit of time to do, because it takes a while to stitch that. So, but anyway, for fun, I used a pre-printed undersea fabric that I found in my stash as the facing for the back. And so Fishtails is a fish through and through. There is no stitching on the back of the fish here. It is just it's put together with what's called a pillowcase method, where you stitch right sides together and then you turn it in, you cut a slit in the back side of it, and you then turn it inside out like you would a pillow. So that's how that's created. The next thing I wanted to share is I've been doing some abstract geometrics. So like I said, I can't really draw anything that looks like anything. You know, if you ask me to draw a tree, it's going to look like a lollipop or a Christmas tree. I can draw geometric shapes, and a ruler and a compass help me do this, and I never discount the importance of using tools. You know, I can draw a straight line, but to draw a really good circle, a compass is super handy. So, and the same applies if you're doing, you know, rectangles or triangles or whatnot. So a few months ago, I've been doing a drawing practice, but I started creating these sort of abstract geometric drawings using gel pens and markers on paper. And I very quickly found my voice in these abstract compositions made up of geometric shapes, lines, and arrows. I mean, like when I drew the very first one, I was like, oh, this is what I'm supposed to be drawing, not trying to draw plants or something, right? Or a house. It's like I'm supposed to take these geometric shapes and turn them into something. And I'm entertained by this thing that I'm drawing these geometric shapes because I hated geometry class in high school. Like, really did not like it. I think the only reason I passed is because it was the same year I was taking typing because I had driver's ed. And when you finished your typing assignment in typing class, you could get a hall pass to go somewhere, and I would go visit my geometry teacher and help him grade papers, just really as something to do, and it helped me to kind of understand geometry, but I still hated the damn class. So I create a new drawing a couple times a week, and then I share them on my Instagram, which is Hilary Clark 13, if you want to follow along over there. And then those Instagram posts cross-post over to Facebook, so you can just hang out there and see them that way. And I'm playing with some ideas about what I want to do with these. I think I'm going to be uploading them, my favorites of these, to my Fine Art America shop, which I'm in the process of putting together, and offer them as prints as well as designs on items like throw pillows and phone cases and coffee mugs and things like that. That shop is still in process. The cool thing about Fine Art America is it's all print on demand, and so I upload the design, and then if you wanted to have it printed on a big 24 by 30 inch canvas, they'll print it and they'll send it to you, which is super cool. So I'm going to share 3 with you today. I just sort of highlighted my thing here. This one, what did I call this guy? I don't remember what I called it. This one was created after I'd spent a lot of hours on a Zoom meeting. So it's called Zoom the F Out. And again, just geometric shapes. This one is called Solar System. And then this one is called Activate the Line. And so, like I said, they're just fun little drawings that I've been doing, and I'm really enjoying them. I'm finding that some of the designs are actually coming to me in my morning meditations, and so it's complete with title. So that's kind of a cool little quirk that's occurring. And then I'm also experimenting with turning these little drawings into acrylic paintings. And I've never really practiced painting as an art form before, or at least not since I gave up finger painting as a kid. So I'm finding it a really fun way to spend a small portion of my Sunday afternoons, because again, we can't really go anywhere, right? So as my painting skills improve and I find my voice with the paint, I'm sure I'll shift from creating little 8-inch by 6-inch paintings to larger canvases, but until then I'm really enjoying playing with the paint. And these are the 3 I've created so far, you know, and every one of the designs have come from one of my pen and marker drawings. This one was called Robot Crane, this one's called Follow Me, and this one was called Airstream at the Hot Springs. And you can kind of see a little difference in all of them. This one, I didn't prep the canvas before I painted it. I just left it bare canvas. And I didn't really like how it came out. It wasn't really very, very well defined. So then I did this one where I prepped the canvas and I used colored pencils to try and draw the outline of the shape, which didn't work real well. Colored pencils don't actually work well on paint. Learn something new. And then this one, I used a ruler and I used paint to do the outline, which made more sense. And then I took black paint and outlined some of the shapes. And I'm liking this one the best. So that may be the next style next way I approach these. And we'll see where we go from there. But so those are the little drawings. And then I did finally begin. Then once I kind of got finished with the fish and finished with the masks, and I'm going to continue to draw and paint. That's just something I'm going to keep doing. But I also began the latest in my feeling series, and I'm creating Enlightened. which incorporates a yellow canvas, and yellow equals light in my mind. And so as this piece is still in its infancy, the only photo I have to share, or only image thing I have to share with you here today is the canvas, which is just, this is the outline shape. It's got kind of a curve on the bottom. It's almost heart-shaped. It's almost flame-shaped. It's something like that, kind of fire. Just so you know that the yellow fabric is fused to a muslin backing, which just makes it easier to work with. It makes it easier to fuse. You can't really fuse. You got to be able to fuse it to something. You can't fuse it to nothing. So the design for Enlightened, what I'm envisioning in my head, is going to use primarily fuchsia reds and purples. And I'm sure blue, green, and even some orange will make their way into this piece, but I won't really know until I start playing with the fabrics, which I'm going to start doing this afternoon, later today, this week. But abstract curving shapes will dominate the space, representing the knowing that we experience as we evolve towards enlightenment. So as you can see, I've been really kind of busy over this last month creating wearable art face masks, a really vibrant fish, drawing and painting, and then beginning work on my latest feeling. And so it's been a really good month in the studio, and I've enjoyed my time here. And I'm really grateful that I get to share my work with all of you. Before I go, if you are ready for a private virtual showing of my art, get in touch, drop a comment below, send me a DM, and we can get that on the calendar to give you sort of a private virtual gallery showing of my work. If you'd like to talk to me about commissioning something, commissioning to make a textured fiber painting specifically for you or somebody you really love, also drop a comment, get in touch, send me a DM, and we'll schedule an exploratory commissioning conversation to see what we could create together. There's no obligation for that conversation. It's just, let's see if we can create something that we both, if what you would like created is something I can do. And then finally, if you really liked what you saw and heard today, please think of the one person you know would love it too and share it with them. So that's all I've got for you today. Take care. Good luck. Good luck. Good luck. Stay healthy. Do that. Peace and love. Bye-bye.